Hi and welcome to another free.volous webisode. Today I'm bringing you my thoughts and review and experience with regards to the Fenty Beauty Concealer. When I went to Sephora to get my winter color for the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer, longest name ever, you know which one I'm talking about. It's my favorite concealer. I went there to pick up my winter shade because I'm very light at the moment, and I was sucked in by the Fenty counter, and I ended up bringing this instead to try it out, you know, break my habits in a way. And the first thing I want to say is that it's amazing that they have so many shades, and especially for darker skin tones, that was long overdue, and Fenty is doing a wonderful job with that. The problem for me was to find my shade match because the order of the numbers of the concealers is really weird, because there are concealers that have, this is 230, concealers that are 220 that are darker. I mean darker, not yellower or pinkier, but darker than this. So I was completely confused. The first time I went, I gave up. The second time I persevered, and this was the one that I thought was the closest, although it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. When you're going for higher coverage, be it foundation or concealer, I want it to be the closest to my skin possible, because I don't want it to be noticeable, especially here. And I'm not a fan of very brightening concealers. I like to use them under the eyes, but also on my spots. So I want it to be the closest to my actual skin color. And this was what seemed in store the closest among a clutter, a visual clutter for me, of shades that shouldn't be in that order for me in my head. It doesn't have to do with the amount, it has to do with the way they are ordered. So I was really flustered. But anyway, I brought this home and I decided to give it a go. I've used this several times ever since. I'll insert some footage of me applying the concealer. And the thing that I have to say is that this is medium coverage. I don't know, keep in mind, I'm not one of those people that draws the big triangles and then bakes and that kind of stuff, but for someone who likes to dab a little bit of concealer under the eyes and beg for mercy to the gods of makeup that it will cover your under eye darkness, or it will cover an extreme redness of a blemish, I have several, this is not the one, because you can still see the darkness and the redness showing through. Because of the odd shade matching, at least in my kind of light medium range area, this is too light for me to use on my face. I tried, it looked too white on my face, but I ended up mixing this with my darker shade of Born This Way, and I use it like this on my face. Under the eyes I can use it alone because it's a little bit more brightening, and I sheer it out, but still it's not high coverage in the way I was expecting. So keep that in mind. If you're looking for a very, very high coverage concealer, I still go for the Born This Way, and this, I use it under the eyes, on my face, everywhere, and it has that thickness to it when applied, the thickness of the coverage of the pigmentation, but it doesn't look cakey or weird if you don't apply too much, of course. But this is one of those that a little goes a long way, and it does go a long way. In this case, a little is a little. It's the best way to compare. In terms of staying power, this has a very good staying power. As you may know, I do not powder underneath my eyes because they look very crackly when I do that, so I prefer to deal with a bit of creasing if I have it. And this doesn't crease that much for such a creamy consistency and emollient consistency. It doesn't crease that much, and I gladly pat it back on when I need it. And it doesn't emphasize the the texture under my eyes, which is great. If you're concerned about that, it's a good concealer for that. Powdered, it doesn't cake up. I haven't used the Fenty powder. I pay my own products, so one at a time. But I haven't used the Fenty powder. Some people say it's a miracle worker in terms of blurring everything out. I've used this with different powders. It has agreed with all of them. It doesn't look textured or cakey in any way, but I don't do it under my eyes because I have texture under my eyes that just is emphasized no matter what I do, which product I use. So powdering over here on this area, yes. Over here, no. It deals well with powders. It is quite long lasting on the skin, which is really nice. And yeah, this shade that I bought for me, which is 230, is brightening under my eyes. It was not my goal, but I'll have it. The thing is, I can see my dark circles showing through, which is, I have dark circles. Sometimes they show through. It's okay. But when I'm going for high coverage, because I'm comparing this to the claims they make, I think this is a little bit subpar in a way. These are my thoughts on this concealer. I don't have much more because this is a concealer. It lasts well. It works well with creasing and that kind of movement elasticity of the skin. It works really well with that. It's not as high coverage as I would like it to be. And shade matching for me was hell. I never take that long to do a shade match, and it wasn't an actual shade match. And so I want to go back and buy another one and see if I can make it work, but I don't want to spend money because this is a bit more expensive. But if I buy another one of these, I would be better off with this one. I still prefer the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer overall for everything on my face. This is one and done, one-stop shop. So yeah, I usually end up mixing these two because this has more coverage. The Too Faced one has more coverage, so I end up mixing them and applying them all over my face. Then I adjust the color with the Fenty one, and I have the coverage of the Too Faced one. So yeah, in terms of longevity, they're pretty similar. In terms of not creasing, pretty similar. It's just a matter of preference in terms of coverage. So there you go. This is my review of the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter concealer, and I hope you have enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below what you think. How did it work for you? If you're interested in buying, if you have bought it, and also what you want to see from me next. As usual, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, being that YouTube told me that 1,000 subscribers would allow me to monetize again, but it doesn't, so I don't know what else to do except for keep on growing. But anyway, do subscribe if you have enjoyed my channel, if you want to keep on seeing stuff from me. Also, don't forget to share it with people you think may be interested in it. And as usual, thank you for spending your time on me, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!